This is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain SolForge, also known as PJ Broughton. Welcome to the second and latest episode of Captain's Call. As you can see from the title card, today I'm going to be talking about the Battle for White Fang Pass storyline event and the Ultimate Championship that took place at UK Games Expo the weekend previously. I did manage to make it. British public transport and strikes and things like that made me a little bit wary, but we went down anyway. So yeah, I mean, I had to set off at 5:20 in the morning to get a bus from my local bus station at 5:30, then a bus from my nearest city to Birmingham at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I got to Birmingham, which is the city where the NEC is in, but it's about 10 miles away. But anyway, managed to get there on time, join the throngs of people queuing to sort of get into the expo or play in their tournaments. And yes, day one was the sealed storyline event. So it was with White Fang Pass boosters, which is the first time White Fang Pass boosters have been available in the UK, which was pretty cool. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me opening them. I did get a couple of soul binds. I got the Tempest soul bind and the Utera soul bind. And I decided to go with Necrium and Utera because I had a Shambler in Necrium as well, which I thought would be possibly useful. I went with Nyx Nekia with Endless Death at 1, Dark Ritual at 2, and Soul Rip at 3. There were times when I got a little bit of value out of the Endless Death. I'm not sure I ever got much out of Soul Rip. But yeah, also as well, I've got my list and a few different spells. We had Epidemic, Shadow Strength and Group Meal, and the Shadow Strength and Group Meal were both pretty good, actually. One game I got an awful lot of value out of the Ossuary Mech and the Group Meal. On the Utera side, there was Savage O, 5 Mind Pact, Venom Chalice and Lead the Charge. The standout things really, the Shambler was very good, especially at getting some value out of some cheap and cheerful and easy to kill zombie minions. There were times where on one turn I'd get +12, -12 to my opponent off the Shambler. The Group Meal did do some good upgrading as well. The Ossuary Mech with a free upgrade. There was a little bit of stealth in there, a little bit of replacement. My first game was a loss. I do think I know who it was against, but it's not showing who it was in the actual details on the website. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, but it was a loss. The second game I did win. I would possibly talk a little bit about the player's deck, but they haven't actually registered it on the website. So, you know, fair enough. They don't want to do that. That's perfectly fine. Not a problem. The third game was against Justin Gary. So I was one of the people who got to play Justin Gary. Now, this was a storyline event, so there were some unusual rules where you got points every time you killed a creature, and they could be used in the game to trigger an ability which changed every round. In the round before this, I helped someone beat Justin by giving them a lot of points. But unfortunately, Justin really sort of built a board and got away from me that I couldn't deal with, and he won that game. But any game against Justin was counted as a bye. In round 4, I played a chap called Jamie and won, which was another win. But again, they haven't put they have put the deck on in this case, which is good. So again, they were using Necrium and Utera. They had Cersei. There's Army Commander at 3, you know, so, and Soul Siphon at 2, Shadowcast at 1, Lyria for upgrading, Vampiric Stitcher, which is quite a good one. Krogius was in there, Inner Sealed, Tangle Sprout, and then round 5 was a bye, and I ended up finishing 6th, which was I was happy about. It's the highest I've ever done at a big event in a card game. It's the highest I've done at a but to be fair, I went 32nd at a 500-man event once, by going 5-1 in the Swiss and then won the first knockout. So I have done better. It's just that the final stat wasn't better. But congratulations to Daniel Hurtson, who won. And Tempest also won the actual battle for White Fang Pass. So Tempest now will own White Fang Pass in a future set. Also as well, for finishing 6th, I got a really nice White Fang Pass playmat that was produced for this event and this event only. So there are only 8 of them. The other storyline events that featured White Fang Pass got other mats. And yeah, it's you can see White Fang Pass on it. You can see Cersei fighting Nova. I do play Cersei a lot, so that was nice to get. So yeah, quite a lot of fun there. That brings me on to the second day, which was the actual Ultimate Championship, a chance to get your face on a SolForge card, which is pretty cool. So I went for Necria Minuter in this event, and I had Cersei as my Forgeborn, Army Commander at 1, Soul Siphon at 2, and Life Drain at 3. I might have preferred Death Touch at 3, but I'm not that upset about having the Army Commander at 1, and you'll see why in a minute when you see the rest of my list. But yeah, I mean, we've got Krogius in there, so Army Commander at 1 means that there is, regardless of cycle 1, there's always a 50% chance in cycle 2 that Krogius will come out in the first 2 hands, and then I can Army Commander it to silver, play it silver, and get it gold. Little bit unfortunate with that over the course of the event, because I think I only got it out twice in 5 games, but there you go. Also as well, we've got the Scourge Hydra, Soul Reap, and Virix Embrace for some creature control, Gloom Reaper Hag to try a nice strong powerful creature that for its drain effect on destruction, Shambler as well to try and get some value out of creatures being destroyed. Obviously Shambler's a good card. It's a shame it's the arrogant one, which has got the least amount of health because you want to keep it alive. But yeah, and lots of health gain in the Intera with Glow Hive and double soothing. Round 1 was a win, which was nice, and it was a fun game. The standout of this was the Aloyan Betrayer Krogius. That was a standout for my opponent. They had a bit of control with things like a Sonic Burst and Vine Lash. They had Lycium Rain. They had a Soothing Bartok to get a bit of health, and Mystical Stangle Sprout to try and keep stuff alive. I knew a lot would come down to the Krogius, and when I got my Krogius out in cycle 1, turn 2, at the back, he then got his Krogius out cycle 3, turn 3, straight opposing it, and I soul siphoned my Necrotic Fiend to give Krogius +10/+10, which didn't keep it alive, but it did get rid of his Krogius, and that probably won the game for me. But yeah, that was a win. That was a fun one. Then, to be fair, it goes downhill from there. So the next round, I lost. I was against Daniel, who made the cut, which was good. He had a Botaminate, which made a lot of difference in his game. He Botaminated my Shambler off the second I played it. In cycle 2, he Botaminated off the Glow Siren the second I played it. So he kept managing to get rid of some of my my really good creatures with that. I never saw him play down the Taliesin, and he never activated it. He had a Drix and was creating minions with them, and because a lot of my control was based on doing damage rather than destroy, I was having a bit of trouble getting rid of it. So possibly I have another purple deck that has Necrovive, Dreadbolt, Scourge Hydra, so the damage cards destroy rather than deal damage. So I might have been better with that for the rest of the games, but he won that game 17-0. So it wasn't horrendous, but yeah, obviously decent win. Now the next one was against Jareth in round 3. He won that one. Again, it is Necrium, and again it is Utera, Glow Ives, Refreshing Ranger. You know, you've got a Sigmund Fraud, you've got Gloom Repag there, Dr. Frankenbaum, Forge Seal, Vyric's Embrace. That one, he made a really good play in cycle 2 or 3, I believe, can't remember which, but he managed to deal 30 points of damage off 2 creatures by using his Forgeborn ability and use a spell to buff them. So yeah, he managed to pull off a very good win there, and yeah, lost that game, but it was well played by the opponent, got to say. That one very well played by the opponent. The 4th round, finally something different. We've got Tempest. First time I've seen Tempest. What did it for him was the Thunder Swords. So again, my destruction was based around doing damage, or do damage to a Thunder Sword, and you even improve it. And the bronze and silver Thunder Sword that he kept buffing and kept increasing the health and kept them alive, along with the Botaminate again. Just it's not creature destruction, but it just switches out your creature, doesn't it? And that was very good. So he played a good game. He Botaminated my key creatures, and I couldn't seem to get his Thunder Swords off. He said himself that his deck was based on his Thunder Swords, and he would win or lose on them. But yeah, that's how that play beat me, and again, well played to him for doing it. Then the final game, this was a very fun one. This was very, very close. We didn't play out the full game, as in, you know, cycle 4, turn 3, but it did go down to the wire. So this was Necrium Utera, you've got Forge Seal, you've also got a Mantis, so lots of Forgeborn abilities kicking off for my opponent, a Spring Dryad for health gain, Spirit Leash and Om Nom Nom for them for a bit of creature destruction, along with the Scourge Hydra, just like myself. I had the Scourge Hydra. The Dominant Fiend can be useful, especially if you've got a destroyed ability where, you know, destroy one of your creatures, which they had Soul Rip at 2 for their Nyx Nekia. And yeah, essentially they had to save the game. I was going to win the game, and they had 1 card to save the game, and they ended up winning by 2 to -6. So a very close game, that one. As participation prizes, we got alternate art, black and white, concept art, zombie brutes and zombie minions, which was nice. Also as well, there was a prize for the top 8 in faction. Now Tempest, Aloyin and Utera all had less than 8 players. Necrium had 9. So because that would mean that 1 player went home with nothing, OPE, the people running the event for Stoneblade, just decided that everybody would get them, and I managed to trade for a Wisp and a Gizmo as well. So I've got a foil Gizmo, a foil Wisp, and a foil zombie minion. Also as well, the Utera one is actually a slight misprint on the Oakfather side, so I've got a foil misprint Oakfather minion card, which I will never give away or sell. No one's ever going to get that off me. Congratulations to the person who won, which was Cameron. I didn't get to play him. I didn't get the pleasure, although it might have been displeasure, because obviously beat everybody, of playing him. But well done to him. He'll be having his face on a card. It was a very fun event. I didn't get to make the Sunday, and more stuff happened on the Sunday, which looks like everybody there had a lot of fun, but unfortunately I had to come home to work. But it was a good event, lots of fun. And I'd definitely recommend going to a big event if you get the chance. So thank you for sharing with me my journey through the Storyline event and the UK Ultimate Championship. I hope you enjoyed learning about it and hearing what happened. On the channel, I'll be looking at trying to get some gameplay videos on, possibly some deck opening videos as well. I'll certainly like to do more events, but they are not cheap. I mean, this one, by the time you're done with the transport and the travel and everything else and the overnight hotel, it was like £400-ish, $450-ish. So, you know, if you want to learn a bit more about that, I have got a Patreon. But yeah, like, subscribe, get in touch by email, get in touch by Twitter, comment, all that good stuff. But thank you for coming. I hope to have you back again for another episode, and that leaves me with one thing to say.
People of Solace, heed your faction's call to arms. The Forge be with you.